And I think South Africa, they actually did at some point, but they eventually decided to give it up. I don't know if any of them secretly has. I don't think any of them secretly has. They've made very damn well sure that we don't have access to such technologies. But uh, I I think yes, when we start taking control, before it gets to them thinking of nuking us, they'll first try these things I've just talked about, using non-state and state actors to try and subvert us, to try and usurp what we're doing. Um, they'll definitely look for excuses to instigate war, invade, but because I don't think they'll just launch nuclear weapons like that at us just because we've got independence. It'll just be like, so they've got independence. Why are you nuking them? Why are you killing them? Because other countries, Russia, China, they'll be asking questions like, "What the fuck?" What? So just because people got independence, you launch a nuke?
Having it for, I think having it is for self-defense. It's not like we are going to
Oh, that's
against them.
Oh yeah, of course. But then that's on the only time we can actually have nuclear weapons as Africans is when we self-determine. As we are now, they will not let us have it. Which is part of why they've made sure none of us is industrialized because we already have all the resources you need to make a nuke on the African continent. Even if you don't have the know-how, it's just about hacking and stealing the designs, which is what China did. So they've made very well damn sure. And to be honest, having the nuke is one thing. Having the ability to deliver the nuke is another. Making the nuclear bomb is even the easy bit. The hard bit is making the rocket that's going to carry it at least 6,000 miles to where it's going.
Yeah, and you have to also look at, from a security standpoint, because I work in security, you have to look at how to look after these particular types of things.
Exactly.
Do you remember in the last 2 years, Lebanon had that explosion and it ruined, like, I don't know, 2,000 homes, killed a couple hundred people because they had some ammonium nitrate that was badly stored at their harbor. So you have to learn how to store these things.
Yeah, exactly.
In case you kill your own citizens, It's
exactly.
not as simple as having one of those things. You have to look at what to do with it and how to actually look after it.
Exactly. If you ask me, even let's say Biafra was actualized and I was the president, my first focus won't be nuclear weapons because it's actually a huge drain on resources. The amount of resources you have to dedicate to getting it, it's very easy for them to sanction you using that as an excuse and actually cripple you. So I'll focus on just what China did: force multiplier asymmetrical warfare weapons, hypersonic missiles, which are much cheaper than nukes, but equally as deadly, satellite killers. Um, Part of If I was president, I would definitely build aircraft carriers, but not as big as American ones. You just be small, quick, nimble aircraft carriers. More of the focus will actually go into the jet fighters themselves. Make sure that they're very potent, so that one or two can actually cripple or disable an aircraft carrier. Um, so yeah, those are the kind of things I'll focus. Laser technology, build up a huge cyber warfare division, hackers and all that. Yeah, so those are the kind of things I'll focus on. Nukes will come later. Nukes will come later. You know. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, phew, every time I talk about this, it's like there's no end to it. There's just so much still to be said. But all I know is, for now, you know, if just it's just to get into people's heads, especially in such a way that they understand the magnitude of the problem, but critically that they're not overwhelmed by it, but they understand that there are actually things that can be done. So, because what's happening to us, man? Seriously, we've been experiencing it for 500 years. Look where we are today. I don't think we can continue for another 100 years, especially bearing in mind the kind of technologies they're coming up with to continue the subjugation. Face recognition, drone technology. Oh man, gee. If we can't beat this now, our children cannot beat it. If we can't beat this now, our children cannot beat it.
Yeah, and the procrastination, like from elder, I'd say previous generations, didn't help. That got us to where we are now. So I would say we have to deal with this within this generation. If not, yeah. But with that in general, right now in Africa, I'd say the number one tool they're using for internal sabotage is definitely mercenaries. Have you read some stuff up on them?
Oh, the mercenaries and private armies, private security forces. Yeah.
You have to, man. I mean, that stuff is very, like, eye-opening to people who don't know, because it really does help you understand why the police are not arresting these people, right? Because they're there for a job.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, ISIS, come on. I don't know if any of you remembers when America claims to have been trying to drop weapons off to some of their allies in Syria, but then they end up dropping it off to ISIS. And then we pictures start emerging of ISIS opening up all these military crates with weapons, and they have American army written all over. So when you hear that the CIA had a hand in setting up ISIS,
one that has like the box. It's got the box with the American logo on it. That one.
Yeah, yeah. So when you hear that CIA had a hand in setting up ISIS, CIA has been actively subverting African attempts to real freedom since independence. In fact, oh god, where did I even write this stuff? Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Basically, during the first, CIA used to attend all those Pan African meetings, OAU meetings. They actually used to attend them.
You say that like it's a surprise. I would expect them to do so, man, because it's an open movement where anyone can attend. That's what I say. I mean, like for the FA group, we're doing something different, secret society, so it's harder to infiltrate that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, so, man, to be honest, sometimes I think to myself, just the sheer scale of what we're facing, and how confused our people actually are, how asleep we still are even. And time keeps ticking. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Time keeps ticking against us. These guys, they've been working unified against us for 500 years. Many of us don't even know what's going on. Their plans.
So, you know, the craziest part is the fact that if you tell people this thing, you can't even tell them too much too fast, unless it sounds like a conspiracy theory.
Oh, right. Yes.
You have to show examples all the time, and sometimes there are just no examples you can use.
Right. Yeah, which is why I find myself, writing several books and compilations, just so that if you don't agree, I can say, okay, at least read this book or whatever, and you can see it laid out.
Do you have like any existing examples of like the proof of, let's say, the active mercenary work in Africa right now? Like any articles on that? If people don't believe it, they can see it.
Oh, you mean right now?
Yeah, like any articles.
I mean, I have a lot of the ones from the 60s. Obviously, right now. Yeah, there's still articles that are significant. I follow Katrina Leong a lot. I follow her actions in Nigeria. Katrina Leong is clearly an MI6 agent. Clearly, Katrina Leong is a veteran secret agent who Britain sends in when they want to destabilize the country. If Katrina Liang comes to your country, you guys are in trouble. If she comes there as the new ambassador or high commissioner for Britain, you guys are in trouble. And when you see this woman, tiny, diminutive woman, looks very quiet and innocent with a type of voice, but very evil and destructive. And she's the high commissioner for Nigeria today as we speak. With all the killings going on in Nigeria, she's never one day said, if you see Katrina Liang on TV in the next 1 hour, she's talking about how, oh, Nigeria is really making progress. Nigeria this, oh, and they always try to bribe us. She's always going on TV saying how that the Nigerian youth should join the Nigerian army. There's programs that will help them in the UK, blah, blah, blah. That woman, oh, God. I've been saying it. That woman needs to be pulled up at the ICC. She needs to be, come on, ICC is the organization, so they're not going to do it, and they're the ones in power. She needs to be put up at the ICC. Katrina Liang. Another of their agents, let me see. It was in my mind. I flashed my mind a few minutes ago. But yeah, they still have agents. Well, it's just that they're more subtle. Okay, yeah. There's the Gavin Williamson incident. The defense minister, well, he wasn't so much an agent, but you can still tell that the ones alive today are still on the same code. The one they said was planning to reinvade Africa, use non-state actors to instigate violence, and then use that as an excuse to send in the British army to reinvade Africa. Which, is that not what happened there with Gaddafi? Sent in non-state actors, destabilized the region. Next thing you know, ISIS is now in West Africa. ISIS in West Africa. Syria and Iraq is no longer their headquarters. It's now West Africa. ISIS. It's not a fiction. It's not far away anymore.
Staman. There's ISIS below the Niger. In Nigeria, right? They're in Kogi, and they're down south. They're very down south here. There's a guy on Twitter that updates news on them. Says they're not really. I know Nigeria will never report on it, but I usually see his tweets. Sometimes they just tweet. They're called ISWAP. Yeah, it's that ISIS in the West African province, or Ansari. They call them Ansari in Nigeria, and they are busy cutting off heads and blowing chains up right at Kogi and I think that's there. But they're in Nigeria right here, right now, doing things. And their brothers in the north, their brothers that share borders with Chad and stuff, basically have a full caliphate there.
Yes.
Just don't talk about it. I mean, they were destroying watermelons, I think last week. They were destroying all the watermelons in the northeast. And they said they are not destroying only one guy's zone, the head bandits. They basically run things here.
Apparently, there's about 7 terrorist groups running around West Africa. There's Izala, Junia Islamia, Boko Haram, ISWAP. Oh, fuck it. There's terrorist groups everywhere running around, just doing what they want. Meanwhile, France is there. America is there with their biggest drone base in the world. They are killing people. And France and America are doing as if they don't know what's going on. White people, evil. Yeah, I remember this guy that I was having this. Oh man, I was having a debate with him about why capitalism is so evil. He was like, if capitalism is evil, then how can I even say that? That capitalism has pulled most people out of poverty in human history. It's the best political and economic system ever. I was like, really? Sorry, it hasn't pulled sub-Saharan Africans out of any poverty. Maybe it must have pulled you Europeans. It must have helped you. But it hasn't helped us. The guy was like, but you guys, I mean, so what are you going to say about the mobile phone you have, healthcare? I was like, look, So just because you carried mobile phone and gave me, but for you to get the mobile phone, you destroyed my land, polluted my land, killed my people. I'm supposed to be jumping up and down, happy? The healthcare you guys always talk about. I'm sorry. My grandfather, grandmother, they died over 100 years old, and it was nothing. It wasn't extraordinary. Many of the people from my village die. If you go to my village now, you still pull up people that are over 100 years old. But that's the last generation. The new generation, the life expectancy in Nigeria has dropped to 54. So I'm supposed to be happy. Whoa. So how did he improve my lifespan if my grandparents died age 100, my parents died age 60 and 70? And then me, my own prospect doesn't look better considering all the junk food I've eaten, all the pollution in the air around me, thanks to all the generators. So how exactly have you helped me? You know,
Someone strictly, if you talk about like strictly, that statement is not even correct because socialism did a lot of things too, but people never say that. You understand?
Me personally, I think socialism is a far better system than capitalism. In fact, what am I even saying? Socialism is a better system. It's just that capitalism is always demonizing socialism. They don't even want to hear. Once you say socialism, oh no, you're a communist. Socialism, the slippery slope to communism. But me, why I don't even like any of them is, to me, Africans already had the best system ever, Ubuntu. Yes, you can call it a form of socialism, but not their own type, not socialism like how they do it. Still, the one is still very impersonal. You know, so it's funny. This their capitalism only existed for 300 years, and look how many people they've killed. But Africans, they were practicing Ubuntu for how many thousand years? Let's even say 90,000 years since the first people settled down in Congo. You know, how many genocides? How many wars? Which episodes of history were Africans enslaving, sub-Saharan Africans enslaving each other, especially before the Arabs came or the Europeans? It didn't happen. Yeah, yeah. Why I do these rooms is just a lot of us don't know how dangerous the people are up against are. I don't understand that they'll never change. So that's because originally I was going to write the title of the room is actually two titles for two books I was going to write or I was writing. But at some stage I realized the stories are so similar because if you're looking at what's causing black people to be extinct, it's got to be something which is the white psychopathic behavior of white people. So I combined the two eventually, and now I'm writing two of them as one book. You know, Black Extinction. And if any of you watched the video I was streaming last night as well, you could see the pattern. The pattern is just so clear. Anywhere black people are, as soon as white people come in there, black people get displaced, and it's constant. It happens even on a continental scale. It's been happening for 4,000 years. Black people have lost control of all the continents. We don't control any continent. Huh?
Yeah, you know something that always bothers me because I've been just looking around, observing people and talking to other people. You realize that a lot of people like to be things up. So I've always thought that it would be just a few people, say like a critical mass, that will bring about this change. Because even on Clubhouse, right on Clubhouse, there are some people that like do not even want to renegotiate the borders, which is just the basic beginning.
Yeah.
So, like in a continent of like 500 million people, or is it 1 point something billion people? I don't think the people that will defect the chain will be more than a million or so.
Oh, we need just a critical mass of about 2 to 5% of the sub-Saharan African population. There's about almost a billion sub-Saharan Africans. If you add the North Africans, there's about 300 million of them. So, but 2 to 5% of a billion people really is what we need, which is about 50 million people. Which is a significant amount because 50 million people. There are countries that don't have. Ghana doesn't have up to 50 million people. Yeah. I'm. In fact, I'm about to eat now because since I opened this room last night, I only crunched on some crisps and that's it. So, but yeah, I'll keep doing more of these rooms. It's just that it takes me a while to psych myself to do it because I know I'm gonna talk till my throat hurts. Yeah, I've only the only time I did this room and it was under 6 hours was the very first time. Ever since then, every other time I've done it, it's gone beyond 12 hours. One of them was even almost 24 hours. But yeah, yeah, maybe you guys will even ginger me up from time to time. Just Starman, set up the room again. We need to talk about, just because, yeah, like I said, I have to psych myself up to do it as well. Because, I have to even keep focus, remember a lot of things that I'm talking about. So, but yeah, I need to keep doing it, especially for people who haven't seen this one or you know new people generally. Yeah. And then yeah, we've been here since 10 o'clock last night. Whoa, what time is it now? Whoa, 5. So that's almost 2. Another 5 hours, will be 24 hours. So 19. So yeah, but it's been a good discussion. I just found out that the first, I think, 10 hours of it was saved on YouTube. So yeah, but I haven't even watched it to see how the sound quality is. But yeah, I'll check it out still. So yeah, we'll be rounding up soon. So I can even go and eat. And you guys, please, just remember everything that's been said tonight. Tell more people about it. If you like, let them say you're crazy, you're a conspiracy theorist. The thing is, the more they keep hearing it, the more they wake up to it. Because we need people to wake up for us to even be able to do something. You know. Yeah, Stola, Pretty, and Kwasi, Shango. Yeah. Don't forget to follow your own. Thank you. Yeah. JW, just so you jump up, how are you? And hope you're good.
Yeah, I was in here last night, and I think it's a good room. I don't have anything to add. I'm here to learn.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're about to round up now because, dude, I've been here 19 hours now. But yeah, we'll do more. We'll do more of this, and just to keep the awareness going, keep the momentum going as well. So Yeah.
I like to offer some dissenting opinions, right? Not my personal opinion.
Yeah.
People may say,
Yeah.
what do you say to people who say, well, that was a long time ago, and civilization has changed, so that means that white people have also changed.
That's bollocks. I mean, the oppression is still going on. People are still being exploited. You know, it's like I said, slavery hasn't ended. It's still going on. It's just that it changes with the time. Exactly. Yeah, physically they've gotten richer, more comfortable with everything they've stolen. But their mindset is still the same. They are still psychopathic. I mean, these are people that have been, ruled by psychopaths for about 6,000 years. Their political systems are very psychopathic, designed in such a way that it makes sure the psychopaths in society rise to the top. You know how they say black people are suffering epigenetic trauma? White people are suffering epigenetic psychopathy. They might not realize it, or they might know but not admit it to themselves. But the fact that we as black people suffered an effect from other people giving us trauma. Something must have happened to those people that were giving out the trauma too. You know, especially as they knew they could get away with it. No one is going to reprimand them for anything. They could kill as many people as they want. Children were witnessing lynchings. That shit would have fucked them up. That shit would have fucked them up too. But they, because they don't psychoanalyze themselves like they psychoanalyze us, they're not going to admit it to themselves. Yeah. Sorry? Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right? It's almost like compounding interest or compounding racism.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You're right. It makes them more smarter now, know how to deal with people. But their mindset is still there. They didn't change their targets.
Exactly. Like I said, nothing in over 1,000 years has compelled them to change their behavior. God is not reprimanding them, punishing them for all the evils they've done. So why are they going to stop? Especially if they're profiting from it. So yeah, this is why no matter however you slice it, we're gonna have to fight for our freedom. Simple. They're not gonna just wake up one day feeling merciful and say, okay, we've suffered black people enough. Let's chill out now for them. Nah. If they haven't stopped themselves in half a millennia, 500 years, and then now they're addicted to our resources to the point where they see that if they don't get our resources, they will be under threat. So it's a problem. It's a real problem. And I think many of us we don't even fully understand the magnitude of it. Hmm. Yeah. But yeah, next time I'm having the room, I'll ping you guys in. Yeah, I'm following you, Mr. Black. JWR, okay. Yeah, next time I'm having a room, I'll ping you guys in.
Yeah, if it's like what I've been listening to, I mean, you know, you've been this really been kind of interesting to me, and because I never heard the perspective coming from, I'm supposed that you guys are in the on the continent. I don't know, but anyway, I never heard this kind of somewhat. I mean, realism. This is, you guys are talking about the real thing. You're not trying to sugarcoat it or anything. You're just saying what it is, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's because, to solve a problem, you have to try and understand it as realistically as possible from all the angles possible as well. You know, yeah, I mean, for me to even understand what's going on, it's actually taking me years, 9 years. 9 years of just, I started with a conscious decision to try and understand what happened to African people while we're in the situation we're in today. So with that in mind, it kind of led me to exactly what I needed to find. So yeah.
Did you talk about Namibia and what happened in Namibia during the Second World War? How they poisoned the water? Germans came in and poisoned the water.
Right. No, I didn't even talk about that. I mean, there's so much to talk about, but I tried to talk about, generally in broad terms, black people from Australia, the Aborigines, the ones in Brazil, the ones in the Caribbean, the ones on the African continent, the ones in America, because we're all facing the same extinction agenda. You have to remember, white people, as long as we're around, they're never going to feel comfortable, even with everything they've stolen, because we're around. They're going to have to look us in the face.
There's always that opportunity and chance and possibility of revenge. They know that.
Exactly. So, as a result, they'll rather us wiped out. So, yeah, because I kept asking myself, so if this shit has been going on for half a millennia, what's the end game? How's it going to end? Why hasn't it even stopped? I thought we're in the 21st century. Human rights this, human rights that. So if it hasn't stopped, how exactly is it going to end? And knowing white people, the plan is for it to end in their favor. And the only way it's going to end in their favor is if black people are completely disenfranchised or eliminated. So,
and they get to tell the story.
Right. They get to tell the story. Exactly.
Have you noticed there's no real aspect of history where there's someone else telling white people's stories for them?
Yeah. Yeah. They tell everybody's story. Yeah, in one of my books, in fact, I'm writing 4 now. All at the same time, even. And one of them called Reformatting the African Mind. I talk about how, the specific aspects of white supremacy and how it controls the narrative. I think I identified 13 aspects. So there's the judicial, that's the law. There's the political, there's the economic, there's the media. There's even something called somatics, which is about which is about physical beauty. So you know how people think, oh, white people are the best looking people, or where you look at fashion magazines, always white people on it. They've even somehow sold it to the world that they're the best looking people. They've completely hijacked everybody's narrative and centered it around them. You know, and people don't realize, but this control of your narrative is powerful. It's fucking powerful. There's an example I always give, something that happened to me when I was a kid. I watched Zulu Dawn. The film about the Zulus and how the British went to South Africa and they were nearly killed off by the Zulu, but against all the odds, I mean, the way they framed the story, like, yeah, British heroism, you know, these 200 British soldiers stranded behind enemy lines, low on food, low on supplies, little hope, but British heroism came through and they survived. Basically, I remember when the Zulu army, about 10,000 of them, were bearing down on the 200 British soldiers. And I remember as a kid supporting the British, hoping that they would win. And they actually won. And I was so happy. I was like, whoa, yes, they survived. But then I watched the film again as an adult. And I remember literally slapping myself, thinking, why the fuck were you thinking supporting the British, who are actually the criminals? If they didn't leave Britain and go to South Africa, the Zulus would never have known there was anything called British people. They were the ones that came looking for trouble. But this is what white supremacist narrative does to you. It hijacks your thinking. You begin to see your life through them. You know, yeah. Hmm. But yeah. I think we'll round it up now. So I'll eat and probably go back to sleep. Yeah, maybe within the week or two, I'll do this again. So yeah, it's been a pleasure. My man Kwasi, my homegirl Ravishin, and Mr. Black. Yeah, come on, we've been in rooms together before. So JW, I think I'm meeting you for the first time today, but it was a pleasure having you. And yeah, I'll definitely ping. I followed you, so I'll ping you for the next one.
So always, thanks, Darman.
Yeah, no worries,
Yeah, thanks. It was nice listening, man. I'll be quiet. I'm just going to be a listener. Just want to let you know who's on board.
No worries, no worries. As long as knowledge is picked up and you know knowledge you can make use of at least. So, but yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I wish you guys all a good day. Till next time we link up again. So yeah, thank you guys. I'll close the room like in the next 3 seconds. Take care. Hmm.